Hey guys, it's Erin, and I'm back here again with my light switch. Okay guys, before we start this video and get into the whole shebang, I just want to apologize. I've got a really grotesque eye going on right now. I was at the doctor today, and I woke up like this morning. Actually, I woke up and it was a lot worse. My eye was really swollen, and it was actually stuck shut. So I ended up going to the doctor today, and we aren't going to know until I wake up tomorrow and see how awful it looks tomorrow, whether or not I actually have pink eye or a infected eyelash or eyelashes. They are leaning towards infected eyelashes, so awesome. I have no idea what it is that I put on my face that got my eye infected, but now I have to go through all my makeup and find out. So I'm really thrilled about that, because I've got 2 new eye palettes that I bought recently, and there's a very strong possibility that one of them is the culprit. So now I've got to go through, find out what's in there, find out what I'm allergic to, and go from there. I'm so happy. In the meantime, I've got a really disgusting, swollen, red, oozing eye, and I do apologize. So focus on the light switch. Since it is summertime, I decided I would sit down and we could cover some skincare, because I don't know if you guys are the same, but for me, the extremes of weather are terrible for me. If it's really cold in the wintertime, my skin is extremely dry. And then in the summertime, I seem to have more oil production, which causes more little face monsters and stuff to pop out. So my moisturizing routine tends to get a little bit more intense depending on the kind of weather and, of course, depending on the situation. So I thought I would go over some of the moisturizing products that I'm using just for my face, that I'm using at the current time, and we can discuss. Now, first and foremost, most of the stuff that I'm showing is actually store brands. I have a tendency to go for store brand or like drugstore moisturizers, but I do have 2 pieces here that are a little bit more high end, and we'll discuss those as well because they actually do have their own purposes. So first and foremost is this one right here. This is the Nivea Express Hydration. Now, what I use this for is underneath my makeup. When I do my whole face, I put on my foundation and everything. I use this stuff. The reason being that it tends to hold all of my makeup on. And when I wear this stuff, my makeup does not move for the entire day. And I absolutely love that because I don't have to worry about my face for the day. So I use this underneath, and the reason that this works so well is that it is, your first 2 ingredients are water and glycerin. And it's the glycerin that does it. The glycerin makes it a little bit more tacky and actually holds your makeup to your face. So that's why I went for this. I'm not 100% loving this because of the scent. It's the lotus flower scent. Okay? I don't like scented lotion. I'm not a big, humongous fan of smelling like I just got beat with 12 dozen assorted flowers before I left the house. So I don't like to wear scented stuff, but this I kind of just deal with it because it's under my makeup, so I can't smell it all day, and neither can anybody else, and it doesn't clash with, you know, my perfume or my shampoos or anything else that has a scent to it. So this is okay. It actually does smell pleasant. I mean, it's not a bad smell. It is a pleasant smell. But you can get the Nivea lotions like this that don't have any scent at all if you're like me and you don't like a scent to your lotions. Just make sure that you look all the ingredients and make sure that glycerin is either first or second in the ingredients. It's usually going to be second. Now, I don't know if anybody else has this problem, but every so often, especially if I've had like a particularly bad breakout, for instance, my nose breaks out really bad about once a month, and when it's all done and it's cleared up and everything has dried up, sometimes the skin will actually peel in that area, especially on this side of my nose for whatever reason. But the skin will peel off, and then what it leaves behind is this horribly shiny skin. And it's not oil or grease, it's just like new skin. And it's just really shiny. And sometimes it's my chin and sometimes it's my nose. Sometimes it's both. Lucky me. So what I use is I actually use Olay Fresh Effects Swirled Mattifier, which is this stuff here. And I don't know if it combines when you spray it out or what it does. Here's what it says down here. I don't know if it combines or what it does, but It's got like a little white and, I don't know if you guys can actually see it. There you go. It's like a white and green swirl in there, but whatever that is, this stuff works really well without making your face look, I don't know, like too matte. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matte it down like the way if you put powder on your face. It doesn't matte it down like that, but it will take out the shine on your nose or your chin like I have after a breakout if your skin is just weirdly shiny for some reason. Now, like everybody else, I like to try to keep a moisturizer on my face that has some kind of an SPF in it. Now, I've actually got two that I'm going to discuss, and I've actually got two different purposes for them. I've got, the first one is the Olay Fresh Effects Soak Up the Sun Protection. It is a lightweight moisturizing sunscreen, and it is an SPF 15. Okay, and this is it here. Okay, now I really like this stuff. It feels really, really good on the skin. It absorbs pretty quickly, but it is only an SPF 15, which means that it has to be reapplied quite a bit. So what I use this one for is if I'm not going to be outside a whole lot during the day. If I'm working and I'm going to be in the office most of the day, I'll actually use this in the morning, and then before I leave for lunch or work, or if I'm going to be outside, I will put this back on again and then just go about my business. I don't use this if I'm going to be outside a whole lot. Now, if it's the weekend or, you know, I'm on a vacation or something like that, I actually use, this one's my favorite. This is Neutrogena Age Shield Face Oil-Free Lotion, and it is a broad spectrum SPF 110. And that's this stuff here. Now, I've got a fairly pale complexion. I do have rosacea, so I'm pretty red. However, I've got sensitive skin, and I've got a fairly pale complexion. I have a tendency, I don't tan. I skip tanning. I go from pure white to pure red. So I will burn in about 20 minutes. And I know there's other people out there, so I go for this one if I'm going to be outside working in my garden, or if I'm going to be taking my dog down to the park, or I'm just going to be outside for extended periods of time. So I will wear this stuff, and just, I still carry it with me, and I do still reapply, which you should do if you're wearing sunscreen. You should continuously reapply. But this is the stuff I use when I'm extended. So this is, well, it'd be nice if you could see the logo. So this is if I'm not going to be outside a lot, but I still need sun protection. And this is if I am going to be outside for a large quantity of the day. Now, this next stuff, we're actually going to start getting into the high-end stuff. I've only got two more lotions left to talk about. This next stuff I've actually talked about before. I believe it may have been in one of my monthly favorites videos. This is the Dermalogica Ultra Calming. Okay, and this didn't show up last time either, but there you go. It's the Dermalogica, and this stuff can be found at Ulta. I don't know if it's sold anyplace else, to be honest, but that's where I got it, was over at Ulta. And it's not a super expensive lotion, but it's more expensive than I like to spend. So with this stuff, a very little bit goes a long way. It feels amazing on the skin. It is like rubbing satin or silk on your face. It is absolutely phenomenal. But I don't use this a whole lot. The only time I ever really use this is when I'm having an issue with my rosacea. My skin gets red right in here and my nose and on my chin. So I will put this on there to actually calm that down, because some days I'm redder than others. If you have rosacea, you know what I'm talking about. Some days you're redder than others. So I put this on to calm down some of the redness. This, so far, out of all of these, this is really the only cream that I have that is clear. So when you put this out, it's clear. Just put a tiny, tiny little dot right on the tip of your finger, and then just kind of dab, 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 rub it in, and it's marvelous. It works wonders, and like I said, a little bit goes a long way. This should last you a good long time, so I think it is worth spending the money to get something like this if you have an issue with redness or rosacea. Okay, and this last stuff is actually from Salt and Sea, and it is called Best Care from the Dead Sea Day Essentials Face Cream. And it's this stuff here in a little jar, okay? And this was actually sent to me by the company to try out. And I've had it for a couple of days now. I haven't had it for a long time. But I have been using it, and I have incorporated it into my routine. Here's the actual stuff. This is the first one I have that's actually in a pot that I can actually show you the cream. It is white. It looks a lot thicker than it actually is. It's actually not too bad. Goes on the face very light. It does have a smell. I don't know how to describe the smell. I've tried to describe this to people before, and I don't think it makes a whole lot of sense, but it smells like baby products. Not baby powder, but baby products. Have you ever bought like a like a baby lotion and just used the baby lotion on your own skin, or if you have a baby, used it on your baby? When you smell this, you'll know which one I'm talking about. I don't want to mention the brand name, but when you smell this, you'll know which one I'm talking about. It's a very well-known scent, but it smells very similar to that. It's a very light scent. It's a very clean scent. And I said earlier that I don't like scented lotions, but something like this isn't too bad for me, simply because it is a very light, clean smell. So I'm okay with that. It doesn't smell like I got beaten by a bouquet of roses. This is actually supposed to be put on the face at the beginning of the day, and it does apparently have a little bit of sun protection in it. I have found that I have a better time with this particular cream at the end of the day, not necessarily before I go to bed, but when I come home and I take off my makeup and I've just washed my face, I'll actually put this stuff on my face at that point in time rather than putting it on in the morning. It is a little heavier than the other lotion, so it sits on the skin a little longer before it actually absorbs in, and it's a little tacky. And I'm not a fan of the tacky feeling from lotions. It's why I have such a hard time dealing with lotions, because I can't stand the way lotion feels. I hate it. I especially hate it on my body. I am awful about getting lotion onto my body because my clothing might touch the lotion, and I can't stand that feeling. It's horrible. This isn't terrible, but it does leave a tacky feeling on your skin, which is why I don't like to do it in the morning, because I don't trust putting my makeup on top of it. My experience with lotions that stay a little tackier on the face is that it makes it a little harder to blend your foundation on. You can put it on, I mean, it's not a problem, but I like to put it on and like blend it in a little bit, and I know most other people do as well. I find it a little bit harder to do that, and I end up having to use more foundation than I want to. So it does say that you can use this underneath your foundation, but I just don't. So what I do is at the end of the day, when I come home in the evening, you know, after dinner or whatever, I wash all my makeup off, I wash my face, and then I go ahead and I put this stuff on, and then, you know, I go out and I deal with watering plants, or I sit downstairs and watch Family Feud or something like that, you know. By the time I come back upstairs to hang out on the computer, go to bed, things like that, it is already absorbed. My skin feels absolutely phenomenal, and I can go to bed. And sometimes I put another lotion on. I usually don't. Since I put this on, I found that I really don't need to put another lotion on before I go to bed, which for me is absolutely wonderful, because I really hate putting lotion on before I go to bed. I hate it, because that means my face has to touch my pillowcase. Ugh. So this actually does a really good job making it so that I don't have to do that anymore. So that's a win in my book. I do like this stuff. It does leave your skin feeling really, really nice, and it gives you kind of a glow to your skin. And it's not a greasy, sweaty glow. It's just a nice, clean glow, and it's really nice. So I do like this stuff. I will leave a link for at least this one down in down in my description, sorry. Most of the other stuff, like I said, can be found in drugstores, and the Dermalogica stuff is found at Ulta. Like I said, I don't know if anybody else carries that, but I know I got mine at Ulta, and that's the only place I've personally ever seen that. So this one I actually got at Amazon. I will leave a link below to go ahead and get some of this. Like I said, this was sent to me by the company. I know right now it's on sale at Amazon. I don't know how long that's going to last. So if you're seeing this, you know, later on after this video has been recorded, it's probably not still on sale. But I know right now it is on sale at Amazon. So go pick some of this up. Again, with this, a little goes a long way. Literally just tap your finger in the lotion, rub it into your face, you're good to go. This should last a really long time. It is a little bit cheaper than the Dermalogica stuff. Not a whole lot, but it is a little bit cheaper. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the abuse that I deliver upon my own skin to make it look like this. Hey, at least I'm trying. So that is it for this week. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.